Greetings and salutations, and welcome once again to the Capeless Crusaders live at the time from Empire's Comics Vault. My name is David Barry at Dr. Barry on varying social media platforms. We are down here at Empire's because next Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. It is the Holy Grail. It is the Super Bowl, WrestleMania, Christmas for comic book fans. And we are down here. We're interviewing some of the creators that Ben is going to have down here. Now, if you've never been to Empire's on a Free Comic Book Day, it is not just get in line and get your comic books. That is like 1/3 of the day. It is get in line and get your comic books. It is meet local writers, artists, check out their wares, see some wrestling, get some fantastic food truck food. Like it's an entire event. It's something great for everyone involved. So I am joined by Kristine.
Yes.
Kristine, you have been a part of Free Comic Book Day, I feel like, for a while. I feel like I've seen you in a couple of them.
Yeah, since 2014.
Wow, 2014. And have you been also involved with the Creative Women Minicon?
Yes, since 2014.
You are on board with Ben's creative journey.
I've had book signings down here. I've done lectures down here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anything that I can do here, I'm going to do here.
So now explain to me. I know you're a writer and I know you're a painter.
Yes.
So we have some of your books here.
Correct.
Right now. So what is your main book that you are featuring? Tell me something about. I'm gonna butcher it. Is it Caravaggio?
You are very close. You have to roll it a little bit.
Okay.
It's Caravaggio.
Oh.
Right? Right? That's the I speak Italian. So
That's all it is. I'm like, get some pepper on my pasta and here we go. So tell me about. I'm not even gonna try to roll that hard.
So I'm an art historian. I don't know if you actually know that.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm an art historian and an art history professor.
Oh, nice.
So Caravaggio
you know what you're talking about.
I do. He is actually a 16th, 17th century painter.
Oh, okay.
And my research used to focus solely on his paintings and why he was using such dense black backgrounds in his paintings, because a lot of his contemporaries, even some scholars today, say that it was because he had dark hair and dark eyes and he was this melancholic personality, so it spilled over into his paintings. And I was like, if there's a bigger crock out there, right? So I really started digging deeply into that, and I actually found that it's more of a metaphorical darkness that actually stems back to St. Augustine and Christian theology.
Oh.
It's this whole idea of having to enter darkness to find light, and his paintings were meant for the Catholic Church, so it all kind of stems together.
Being raised Catholic, I 100% know about
there
that, going into the darkness and the guilt.
There you go. Yeah, it's always a bit, right? I'm not saying I put it
Everything was great.
But these books actually cover his life, because the more I was doing research about his paintings, the more I realized how skewed scholarship is with his biography.
Oh, okay.
And I've been all over the world the past decade. I mean, just chasing him. I've been in Malta. I've been in Italy. I've been in France. Everywhere. There's actually 80% of the Maltese archives are on microfilm in Minnesota. So I go to Minnesota very frequently. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
It's always like there's a weird place that records are being saved, and you're like, why is it in? Okay.
Minnesota, right? People say I sound like I'm from there anyway.
You can get some cheese curds and learn a little bit of history.
There you go.
I'm down with it. So what inspired? Why focusing on him?
Wow, boy, that's a really, really long story. So when I first saw one of his paintings, I cried.
Okay.
And the painter in me, I wanted to paint like that.
Okay.
But then when I started reading all these biographies, I was like, there's no way, they say he was an atheist, they say he was violent, they say he's a murderer. Oh. Let me tell you right now, I have police records that actually state it was self-defense. Okay. So all of a sudden, I became like Caravaggio's lawyer.
Right.
So that's
defending him hundreds of years later.
Pretty much, right? But that's what these books are. They are his biography, but there's a little bit of fiction mixed in there. So it's this really wonderful story, because I realized it was like putting pieces to a puzzle together.
Right.
And a lot of scholarship wasn't looking like Indiana Jones. You're digging in the wrong place, right?
Yep.
So that's what these cover. And the main idea around it is the fact that he actually wound himself up in one of the biggest conspiracies of all time, because he wound up doing some illegal things, fled Rome, had a death warrant put on him by the Pope. But
that's a big one.
He became a Knight of Malta by special permissions from the Pope that put the death warrant on him.
Okay.
And nobody's paying attention to this. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is like Sherlock Holmes.
That's a great story,
Baroque, right? So that's and I found out all of it. So I obviously can't tell you, but I found out everything. And I also academically found out the truth behind the enigma of what happened to him on the beach in 1610. which is actually in here.
Okay.
I chose to publish it in my novel instead of my nonfiction because I think this is going to reach more people than a nonfiction art history.
And I feel like I've even experienced this with some comic books. Like I've read certain comic books that focus on history, but there's gaps that they have to fill in.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's up to the writer. Are they going to add in, like some of the ones I've read add like some fantasy side to it? Like
Definitely.
I've read what's the one? There's a comic called Druids, and it's about the end of, like, the last Druids at the end of their time in Ireland and Great Britain, and a lot of it was historically accurate, but like there were gaps, and they're like, okay, well, let's fill the gaps with magic.
Right.
Like, you know, if they were having this ceremony, let's show what the ceremony would have been doing in the other world. So they add that to it, and even if it's fantasy or just filling in gaps with an interesting point, that's definitely a really good way to reach more people.
And I did that here specifically with the Templars.
Because
the Knights of Malta are birthed from the Templars.
Okay.
And I started studying Caravaggio's arcane iconography in his paintings and realized that there are so many links to, like, the Cult of Mary, things that are supposedly Templar secrets.
Right.
And I really think that his whole mystery behind this conspiracy was actually because the Knights needed him for something, and I'm not going to tell you what, but that's kind of the fiction wrapped around this, but it's true. I just can't prove it because obviously there's no documents, because they're not like, hey, he was here doing this.
But we have everything written down forever.
So you can find it all. So that's what these are.
That's so fantastic. So now you write, you draw, now the book, is it self-published? Is it through a publisher? Like, how does it?
Yeah, so it's through a publisher. It's a very small publisher.
Okay.
It's A3 Publishing. But the really nice thing for anybody who's looking at publishing, if you stay with a small publishing house, you get to keep all creative rights, which is a big deal for me, especially with Caravaggio, because it's my life's research. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's available on Amazon. We're working on half-price books in Barnes & Noble right now, so hopefully it'll be actually in brick and mortars soon. So yeah.
So you're gonna have copies of the book down there. So now the name of the book.
So book 1 is Caravaggio of Oil and Blood, and book 2 is Caravaggio of Iron and Steel.
And how many books are you going to be doing?
There's going to be five in total. This series.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Well, so now you have some of your art here that you brought with you. Now, let's grab this guy. Okay. So you were telling me about it.
Yes.
It's drawn with silver.
It is. Yes, it's called silver points.
Like that's.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
Wait, turn it a little bit. No, it's not going to. Dang it, it's so light.
I can go that way.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
You can see it kind of. It'll be here.
Yes, it'll be. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. If you're like, I want to see this, get down here on Saturday.
Come down.
I'm not going to flip through this. You're going to have to get down here. So now the other thing you've got. Now this, I didn't know the entire backstory of this, and I was blown away. But now this.
I am actually, and this is on record, I am more excited about this than I am about those books, which nobody is going to believe that.
But say, with how you just went going down this one, like I'm impressed. So now you're working on a card game, a fantasy card game. And so it's Alchemimental. Oh, you good?
Yeah. I got so excited the last interview, I flipped my watch off. So anything, it's like a full contact sport when you interview me.
So it's called Alchemimental.
Yes.
Which is a fantastic combination of two fantastic words. So give me the premise of the game.
Okay, so the objective is to destroy your opponent's Philosopher's Stone.
Dig it.
Because in a world where 8 realms collide, there can be only one keeper of the Philosopher's Stone.
Down with it.
Boom.
I'm so excited. So you have some of the cards here.
Do.
I think these will show up a little better.
I think so.
Even though they're small, so you won't be able to see.
They are.
But they do definitely
have to come down. You're going to be able to flip through them.
It's crazy. Yes. It's like we're telling you to be here because it's important. So now so you were telling me off camera that it's a combination of magic.
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
And then you said Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
All the things you like.
Yes.
None of the things you don't.
None of the things I don't. Awesome. That's right. It needed to happen. It needed to happen.
So now is this... How far are you in the production? I see you got a lot of cards already made.
I do, yeah. So I have 400 drawings left to do.
Okay.
And I'm on a 6-month deadline.
Oh, wow.
So I will have them after Free Comic Book Day. It's all about this game.
So now are you self-producing? Is it through someone? Is it like a Kickstarter?
I'm going to launch a Kickstarter.
Cool.
So my whole game plan is to have some cards here and business cards and get the word out. And then I printed my business cards for this game on cards like this.
Nice.
So I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con, of course, this year.
That's how you do it.
And I'm just going to walk behind people and just drop them in their bags, right? And they're going to get home and be like, oh, what's this? And yeah, so after San Diego Comic-Con is when I'm going to launch a Kickstarter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I hope the best for it. I'm really excited for it. I'm all about card games. I'm actually about. I played Magic a lot when I was younger, and then I kind of dropped off.
I did too.
And then now they like. I think I might go back because a friend of mine. He's like, oh, you like right now's a really good time to hop back in.
It is.
And I'm always down with card games, and this is just like looks right up my alley. Yeah. So I'm really excited for it. And but you said there's no. It's not about wizards.
So there's no cliche. There's no wizards. There's no druids. There's no elves. There's no anything like that. It's all about alchemy. It's all about the elements, like somewhere. So like these are scroll cards. They give you special abilities, but like Memento Mori is actually an art historical term.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have my elemental cards. All of my characters I have named myself, and it's a really weird combination of like looking at the Latin names of flowers and like all of this stuff. So it's
it's interesting where you pull inspiration
It is. It's
from.
like the smorgasbord of all of this stuff.
Well,
so.
and I feel like the not really like the tropes of card games, but the typical direction that card games go, it's a lot of them are the same. Like a lot of them, like Magic and Hearthstone and there's one I'm thinking of and I'm blanking on it right now. Like they all kind of like draw off of each other in a lot of ways, and it doesn't mean they're not entertaining. Right. But it's nice to have something fresh and to have all this crazy inspiration in on it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm stoked. If you want to see the cards, you got to come down to Free Comic Book Day. So Free Comic Book Day every year is the first Saturday in May. And Ben,
and you get free comics.
You get free comics. Like that's
a no-brainer.
Yeah, you don't have to pay to get the comic books. Like they're here. You get to pick through. You get to grab some. Ben always has great sales. So if you're looking for local creators, if you're looking for that comic you've been thinking about picking up, new comics, old comics, you got the stuff on the wall. You got toys. He has hot sauce. That's a new thing.
That is so great.
There's hot sauce.
It's the greatest
at
thing.
Empire's Comics Vault. And you get to meet local creators like Kristine. So now, Kristine, where can we find everything we need when it comes to your books, your games, your paintings? Where it is all located?
Yeah, so I am on Facebook at Kristine Balog Author. Twitter and Instagram is at Kristine Art, and it's Kristine with a K, so it's Kristine.
Important.
I'm working on the Alchemical website right now.
Nice.
It's not up yet, but I'm actually doing updates for this on Instagram and Facebook.
Cool.
And if you want to know anything about Caravaggio and me, just put my name next to Caravaggio. I've dominated the internet for years. It's like ridiculous. You put Caravaggio and you're like, wait a minute, I know that girl. She's not Caravaggio.
That's not an Italian painter, but I mean, she speaks Italian and she is a painter. Yeah, so
it's this crazy girl that runs around Sacramento.
It's awesome. Yeah. So come down, see Kristine, see her stuff,
do.
And we will see you Saturday. Thank you, Kristine. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Right, and we are back here at Empire's Comics Vault. David Barry for the Capeless Crusaders. We are talking to Free Comic Book Day creators. Because like I said earlier, you come down to Ben's, you're not just getting free comics on Free Comic Book Day, which, I mean, free comics is pretty good.
Free comics is pretty awesome.
But you're also getting local creators, you're getting wrestlers, you're getting food trucks. And my next guest is involved with 2 out of those. Yes. You don't do the food truck thing. No,
I don't do the food truck. Well, I'll eat from them.
That works then. Heather Lee Art and Photography is joining me now. So Heather, how long have you been coming to Empires as a customer? As a patron?
A few years. I've been to, I think, 3 Free Comic Book Days.
Good. And so this is going to be number 4?
I think so, yeah.
And how many? And you've also been the Creative Women Minicon, yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. So you are ingrained in this community when it comes to showing off your stuff.
I think so. No, I won't. I've never sold at Free Comic Book Day.
Okay.
No, I've just been here.
Ah.
No, so this is my first Free Comic Book Day.
This is a debut.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have all of your stuff out. We're going to have your digital art. We're going to have photography. Mm-hmm. We're going to have buttons. Yes. We're going to have bookmarks.
Yes.
We're gonna run the gamut. Now, besides doing your own art and photography, you also are involved with a certain organization that is going to be here on Free Comic Book Day.
Every year.
Free Comic Book Day. They are slamming each other.
Yeah.
They are suplexing each other. You might even see, like a flying headbutt. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Probably not chair shots because, who knows? Actually, we might get chair shots.
You don't know. You never know.
It's always bad. But I'm, of course, talking about SPW. That is Supreme Pro Wrestling, based out of Sacramento.
Correct.
And so now you are...
I am one of the main photographers.
And you're also doing some logistics.
Yeah, I do some stuff in the background and help them out. And I'm working on a project for them. We're going to be doing a book about the company.
Nice. So now how long have you been involved with SPW?
I've only been involved with SPW for about 1.5 years, but I've known Samurai who for like 23 years.
Now,
so.
is he currently the tag team champion?
No, he is the
I fall behind sometimes.
Extreme.
Oh, he's even better. So, is he going to be defending it? No, you don't have to say anything. We're going to have some matches.
I can tell you.
Okay.
I can tell you a couple of matches.
Okay.
There's going to be Patrick Fitzpatrick is going to be it's going to be Patrick Fitzpatrick versus Funny Bone.
Oh.
So that's
Funny Bone's going to be here.
Funny Bone's going to be here.
Cool.
Yeah. And Scoot Robertson versus Roman Bishop.
Nice. Are we going to have title matches?
There's going to be a battle royal.
Nice.
And the winner of the battle royal will get to try for the Extreme Championship.
Ooh, we're going to go after Samurai.
Yeah.
I love this. I love professional wrestling. And I love that we have local, really talented like, it's nothing to sneeze at. This isn't like down home. Like, these dudes are legit. They are athletes. They are talented. They are trained, which also means they aren't hurting anyone too badly.
Which is huge, because there's a lot of places that they're not trained in.
Oh, 100%. No, these guys, they take care of each other. Because professional wrestling, well, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for the kids, but professional wrestling, it is real.
It's
but
entertainment.
They are trained to maim, not injure.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, if you see those chops, that's legit. Like that. Those welts. You can't fake those welts.
No, you cannot. And I have some great pictures of some of those welts.
Oh, those are fantastic.
Not with me, but definitely, yeah.
So now, you're gonna be here at Free Comic Book Day. Are you gonna be taking shots of the guys?
I'm not, because since I'm gonna be selling,
you're gonna.
I have a guest photographer coming in.
Okay,
so that we have the pictures still, and we can put them on Facebook.
Nice, very nice. So now your personal artwork, besides the photography, well, I mean, it is photography, but it's also digitally manipulated.
Some of it, yes.
So is it what inspired? Is there anything particular? Like, are you a fan of landscapes? Are you a fan of not characters, portraits? Like, what do you do?
Actually, I really like all of it.
Nice.
So, I actually just in the last 2 weeks have done 2 weddings.
Oh, cool.
So those are fun.
Yeah.
I do just standard portraits. But what I sell, I mean, I like that too, but what I enjoy doing is just finding something. I like making the mundane look more interesting.
Cool.
So, and I like some things I like a little darker.
Right.
So like this one, I don't know if you can tell very well, but it's a cemetery, it's a ghost.
Ooh.
So I have some cemetery prints,
Nice.
I have some ghost prints, I have some darker stuff, I have a little bit of horror stuff.
Cool.
But then I also have like the prettier sort of, this is a bridge in Sacramento.
Which one?
It's actually at Sac City College.
Oh, okay.
It's like the walking bridge over the train tracks.
Right.
And they light it up
so
beautifully
cool
at night.
I've never seen it at night.
I know most people haven't.
Right.
And so that's sort of a more standard style
Nice.
photography. But then I also do the these were originally just your standard photos. But then I took them into the computer and painted over them and digitally manipulated them so that they look different and they have more of a like a sort of a impressionist kind of feel.
Yeah.
So these are new. I was at Creative Women last year, but I didn't have any of this style. So this is new to me, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So you'll probably see more in the future.
Cool. So now you're going to be down here. You're going to have all of this. You're also going to be rooting on the SPW guys.
I'll probably sneak out there a few times for pictures because I'm going to need them for the book.
Nice.
And I'm trying to only use my work in the book because it's just easier.
Nice. So now, is it going to be like a history of the organization?
Well, it's really in the early stages. But it's going to have bios of the our main workers. It's going to have a history of the company. Cool. Some of this early stuff was a little sketchy because people didn't really keep notes.
Right.
But as much as I can, a history of the belts because not all the belts started at the beginning.
Nice. That's I always love that.
Yeah.
Like watching, I'll look up belts for different organizations and you can track their history.
Yeah.
And how some of them are so either they're so old or they were from somewhere else or someone else. Even if it's a newer organization, learning the history because those titles do hold extreme importance.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
They're so
Absolutely.
cool to learn about that.
Yeah. So I mean, I won't have like a running list of this person and then this person and this person.
You're not gonna have how many days they were champions.
We don't
and their
have
weight when they were.
Yeah, they don't seem to. They didn't kind of keep up
That's
much.
a lot of information.
That's a lot of detailed records.
Yeah, that's a
people that
Wikipedia style.
Yeah.
like-
So. But so I'll have a little bit of the history of
cool.
the belts, and then I'll have like a blurb on some of the stuff that they do otherwise than like a little bit on Free Comic Book Day. A little bit we now do the Santa Rosa Toy Fair every year, and we do a lot of work with charities. So there's going to be a little section on that, the charities we've worked with. There's going to be a section on Sac Anime because we now do shows at Second.
Yeah, I saw the what was it? There was like a costume, like a cosplay contest at the last one that was like involved with it with SPW.
Oh, okay. So that's there's a cosplay wrestling federation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
Do they wrestle?
No,
Okay.
they don't wrestle. They stand in the ring and basically do cut promos.
Okay.
And so you have to, and then you cheer for who you want
Got
to
it.
win.
I was about to say, because certain cosplay costumes, it'd be tough to wrestle in.
Yeah, no, they don't wrestle in them, but
Okay.
they'd been doing that for years, and so they asked the first time, I believe what happened is they asked the first time SPW was there, they said, hey, it would be really cool if we could do this in the ring, and so they said, yeah, sure, and so they did cosplay wrestling first,
Nice.
and then they did, then we did SPW afterwards, and now they've kind of gotten a little bit, like, they kind of overlap. I don't know, I mean, anybody who goes to the SPW shows know that Fitzpatrick often gets called Mario. They had a guy, they have a guy that cosplays Mario.
Nice.
And so he came out with Pat.
Right.
So, it's just like a little bit of stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And it's fun, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a blast.
Well, we look forward to seeing you down there. Free Comic Book Day is, of course, Saturday. We're going to have all of Heather Lee's art. She's going to be down there. We're going to have other local creators, like we already said, food truck, wrestling, free comic books.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to? I feel like I keep reiterating it,
feel like
but
you
do
do
I
too.
need to reiterate it? Like, we're going to have,
I brought one of my pictures
Oh.
from SPW.
we're going to have none other. He is going to be there, the Extreme
Yes.
Champion, Sir Samurai, who is a legend in Sacramento area wrestling.
He is.
A legend in Northern California wrestling, I feel
He is.
like Sir Samurai he is fantastic.
He is. He's so much fun.
Probably
He's my favorite
I
indie
don't
wrestler.
know if I want to pick favorites.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
good. No, you're
I know,
good.
thanks.
I don't want to pick favorites, but he's definitely up there. He's definitely top 3.
Yeah.
Just don't tell him which.
He is always entertaining.
Nice. Cool. We will see you down there, and
Okay, great.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
And we are back once again here at Empire's Comics Vault, the site of the ultimate free comic book day experience for anyone and everyone in the Sacramento area. We are going to have local creators. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have professional wrestling. Probably have, I think there's balloon animals and face painters as well. It's fun for the whole family. But we're also going to have Dan Bethel, comic book creator extraordinaire.
Whoa. Okay. Sure.
I mean, okay, I'll edit that out.
No.
Comic book creator. Moderately. So
That's about right.
So Dan, thank you for coming on.
No problem at all.
So first off, you are the creator of Long John, yes?
I am.
So is it a solo book? Are you the only one behind it?
I am.
Cool. So you're writing, you're drawing, you're inking, everything.
Yep.
So give me a rundown quickly of, well, and you don't have to go quickly, as long as you need to. This rundown of the story.
The story of Long John is that it's a western.
Nice.
About a cowboy who gets his clothes stolen. That's it in a nutshell. But what it ultimately becomes is a mystery of why, who, how, and to just put a little sort of literary spin on it, is that it's also about him redefining who he is when all those things that used to protect himself are taken away.
Okay.
Hence the tagline: "Losing everything changes everything."
Dig it.
Right.
That's fantastic. So now you have 2 issues out currently, two
Right.
volumes, correct?
Indeed, yeah.
And then the 3rd volume
Yeah.
is debuting at Free Comic Book Day.
Absolutely.
This is the first time anyone's going to be able to
Yes.
grab it?
Absolutely.
So now you've had all your stuff here at Empires for a while, correct?
Yes.
Cool. How long have you been involved with Empires, whether as a patron or Free Comic Book Day? How long have you been coming here?
Well, probably shortly after I moved here back in 2008.
Wow, okay.
It was I sampled other comic book shops, but Empire's back at the old location was sort of the warmest.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I enjoyed.
Which is not a joke about the fact that there was a fire that made him.
No, It was warm before the fire. Yeah. Maybe the cause.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
No.
No, we're not pointing fingers.
But in terms of being a creator, I have been involved in a lot of his free comic book day festivities going back years, starting with my previous comic that I did called Ebon 07.
Okay.
That I did with Evan Burgoon.
Ah.
And
was there tape in that one too?
No.
He likes tape.
He does love tape, but there are plumbing supplies.
Interesting.
It's a duct tape. No, it's not duct tape that he uses. He uses masking tape, so never mind. But so we did plenty of events through them, and once we went our separate ways, he went to go do B Squad, and I went to go do Long John, that it made sense just to come back here, and he was gracious enough to have me back.
Yeah, and you guys have both been really successful.
Yeah.
I've seen, so now Long John is available digitally as well, correct?
Yes.
And where can we track it down if we wanted to?
You can check out all things Long John related at longjohncomic.com.
Perfect. That's everything that we need to. So now you're going to be down here.
Yeah.
You're going to have the books.
Yes.
Now, are you going to have any prints or anything as well?
I have prints. I have a couple Long John based prints. I have a print I did that's actually a tribute to that I made right after Logan came out. It's an esoteric little print, but it's nice.
Nice.
And I'll also be selling a sketchbook collection I did.
Cool.
Is
that?
Oh, there it is. Look
doesn't
at that.
show up very well because of how bright it is in here.
Right. It's called Back Matter.
There we go. But it's black inside. So you
Indeed.
can see
Indeed.
it. But if you want to get a closer look at it, you can come down here to Free Comic Book Day.
Indeed.
That's the point. I'm not going to open these up and let you read them one by one.
No.
You got to come down here. You got to get some free comics.
Right.
And you got to check out Long John.
Indeed.
Now, do you self-publish, or do you go through an organization? Like, how do you make your books be?
I self-publish.
Okay.
Mostly because, coming from the Ebon 07 book that we did, which was a webcomic as well, I still follow closely that sort of webcomic ethos, where I do put all the inside, like the narrative content online, longjohncomic.com, but also I put extra stuff in the books that aren't published online, just to kind of up the ante a little bit.
Nice.
But because of that, I don't necessarily look at the books as, this is going to be my income. I look at it more as a way to get people to go to the website, because there's so much more content there. I'm an English teacher.
Nice.
I write a lot, and so there's all kinds of written content, behind the scenes content that are on the website, as well as writing about comics and movies and stuff like that. Just to get people to go there and see kind of everything I do, and that just happens to be.
Now, do your students read your comics?
I hope not.
Fair enough. Not gonna.
Because you know what I envision? I envision that student that doesn't get the grade they want, and all of a sudden I have a brand new troll.
There's all these terrible reviews.
Oh
because
yeah.
of that.
Jeez. I mean, rate my professor's bad enough. I don't need that on my website.
So now, how long have you been working on Long John?
We started. There's a couple ways to approach that. The character I came up with back in 2001.
Oh wow. Okay.
We don't have to go into it, and I like it being sort of this weird hazy idea. He came to me in a dream.
Nah.
Let's just move on.
A
cowboy with no clothes.
The best characters. So a naked cowboy came to you in your dreams.
Well, he was wearing long johns at the time, but I don't know. That's still whatever. But I started making the comic in 2013, and it started publishing online in 2014.
Okay. So now with the third volume, is Long John, is there an end, or is Long John going to keep going?
It is. There is a complete story in mind.
Good.
It'll probably be about between 6 or 7 volumes, depending on how those last two kind of fall together. But yeah, it's a finite story. It's not just me engaging in my love for Westerns. I mean, that's kind of thing when people come up to the show, come up to the table, they said, "Oh, you must love Westerns." I'm like, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I just had a
They're
story.
not bad.
Yeah, I just had a story to tell that was set here, and the next book I do will be not a Western.
Nice. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Is there another book you've got, another story you're working on in mind?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to do any at the same time, or are you finish one then do the other?
I'll probably. There's some collaborative ones that I'll probably try to start working on while doing Long John, but mostly it'll be. I have so little time with teaching that I need to kind of only do one book at a time, or else I will lose my mind.
No, you're telling me that teachers' jobs are difficult. What is this?
I'm not making this political, man. You are. But yeah, I could use more money.
My wife is a teacher, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So you're going to be down here, Free Comic Book Day. You're going to be chalking your wares.
Indeed.
I think that's the industry term.
Right. I'm not up to date with my chalking skills, but we'll see. I can sell them.
Yeah, we can try to
offer them. But chalking.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably do better than Kyrun. So come down here to Free Comic Book Day. Like I said, we're going to have local creators. I'm going to say this again. We're going to have free comics. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have professional wrestling. There's parking. We have great parking accessibility this year.
Yes.
It's no tickets. No one's gonna get fined. Everything's going great. So why wouldn't you?
Right, but there will be tickets to get free comics.
Hey, and there's probably also there's some usually a raffle, like an organization, like I think West Coast Avengers usually has a raffle of some kinds. There's always so much fun stuff.
Right.
So get down here next Saturday for Free Comic Book Day. Dan, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much
We'll
for
have
having
you
me.
on our main podcast for a full-blown episode where we can embarrass you and ask you about pizza toppings and stuff.
Sounds good to me. I am pro pineapple.
Oh, well, he's not coming on the show. Never mind.
There we go.
And we are back once again here at Empire's Comics Vault. We are getting ready for Free Comic Book Day. Next Saturday, we are interviewing some of the creators because, of course, as you know, Ben goes big when it comes to Free Comic Book Day. Food trucks, wrestling, comic book creators. And then, of course, there's free comics. It's like there's no reason for you to not be here unless you have a job, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I am joined by Matt and Corey of Plotless Comics. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on. So right off the bat, tell me about Plotless Comics. How'd you guys get started? When did you get started?
Well, I think we got started way back in the early 90s, 92, I think, is when we started drawing our comics.
Interesting.
I feel old saying way back.
Yeah, way back
in '92.
Back when I
was 3.
back when I was the youngster on the lawn.
He was
Now I'm
3. You hear
chasing
that?
him. Yeah.
He's 3 years old.
Now I have a kid.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Matt was drawing this slightly insane, spontaneously combusting, frothing mutant ninja, black belt,
That sounds very 90s.
samurai, rabbit walrus from hell. I got lost in the middle there. My senility set in. But I myself was trying to be a cartoonist and had some cartoon characters, and I saw him drawing this, and he was having a lot of fun with his story. So I started up a comic of my own called Sato Cat.
Nice.
And that's this guy here.
There he is.
But and then from there we just started. And at first we were just drawing our independent titles, having fun, but then realized that they would play well in the same universe together.
Yeah.
So we brought that
They
together.
sound like perfect friends.
Yeah, and since we were just putting it all together and making it up as we went, we called it Plotless Comics.
That's great. That's a really good reason to have that name. Like we're just going.
We're
for
just
it.
going, and since then, I do like stories. So
Like slightly plotted comics.
there's a lot of continuity in my little mind, but but we have a lot of fun still. It still retains the spirit of plotlessness for sure.
That's awesome.
We're a lot of running around, a lot of stuff blowing up, things bleeding, and a lot of laughter and insanity. So
Yeah, it's kind of funny because our title, Plotless Comics, kind of scares people away. Like, what is it, a book of random pictures or something like that?
Right.
But there's actually a story there. I have one that's kind of a Star Wars spoof where my characters meet the Ewoks, or they're actually called Weewoks. And I don't know if you can see on here, but
Weewoks.
no part of the Ewok is wasted. They end up with these little slippers on their feet made of Ewok heads, and they fight cats. And it's probably one of my most popular books.
That's awesome.
Being Plotless Comics, I started publishing with issue number 7. And now I've just finished issue number 4, and I'm working on issue number 5.
Whatever it all. Oh, that's fantastic. So how long have you guys been participating? How long have you been patrons of Empire's Comics Vault?
wow, it's probably been quite a few years now.
Yeah, I moved up to Sacramento, and I worked in Sacramento since 2000.
Okay.
And Ben's shop used to be over by the Arden Fair Mall, and it's kind of fun to say that the first comic book store that carried our books burned down. Our comics were so hot
That's the way you got to do
that
it.
it burned down.
It was not an insurance scheme, we promise.
So I'd say probably 2002, 2003, and
Wow.
and he's so supportive of indie work. It's a great shop. We have a lot of fun at Free Comic Book Day. I actually had my celebrity moment here a few years ago. Free Comic Book Day, I was wearing my Rabbit Walrus shirt, and Dad walks up to me and said, "Oh, my son loves that character." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, I'm the artist." Oh, no way. He just bought it, a copy off the wall.
That's awesome.
And so I signed it, and I got recognized in public, and it was pretty cool. And then he put it all over Facebook and stuff. I'm like, no way. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you have to be like me. I change my appearance every 6 months just to keep the fans away.
Yeah.
Beat them off with a stick. They're like, oh, I think you're the creator of that Sato Cat, but I'm not really sure. So now, you guys have been doing it independent the whole time. Yeah, this has all been DIY till you die.
Yeah, for sure.
Have there been any any attempts? Like, have you guys tried to take it, or have you always wanted sole ownership of it, or have you ever tried to go beyond like a big publisher?
Yeah, we've never shopped it to any other distribution outlet in that way. You know, that might be in the future for us a little bit. I think I'd like to get something to think about. For sure.
I know a lot of creators who want to just have like sole ownership because it's, you know, why you created it. Why would you want to give any control of it away? But at the same time, right now it's like a golden age of books, where there's a lot of stuff out there that never would have really been successful before, just because there's so many eyes on it now. There's people running around Ben's shop all the time. Like, we got a whole indie art wall, indie comic book wall. Free comic book day. God, like, he's got creators coming out of the woodworks, coming down here.
Right here.
Yeah, I mean, I think right out of the wood. I was in the woods this morning. No, I think my goal is just to eventually get it so a lot of people can read it and enjoy it, because it really is a lot of fun to make, and it blesses my little heart when people pick it up and you see them reading it later at the convention or something. I remember it was almost closing time at the end of WonderCon one year. This guy comes around the corner. He's like, "You," and runs up and picks up my book. His friend had bought it the day before, and he'd been looking all over the show for it. And I just, I bask in that
cool.
kind of thing. So if I could share SadoCat with the world, that would be the thing. So whatever gets us there. I'm not in it for the money. It's for the love of the kids.
That's good. That's good.
Labor of love. Yeah, I am. I sold one of my collections, which is this one featured here. And the very next day, the lady came back and bought all my other stuff.
Nice.
And then she bought some for her friends. So
that's cool.
It's fun when getting people to stop and look at it and read it a little bit. It's really some funny stuff. There's some great dialogue. It's action, violence, and comedy, basically. And we have some crossovers where our characters meet, and they almost always fight at first. And then if something bigger comes along, then they might fight that as well, amongst themselves.
So now, are you guys? Have you been? You've shown off your stuff at Free Comic Day before, right? I feel like
we've been here a couple of times before.
I think it's our third time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now, what do you expect? What should we expect from your booth when we come down here? I know we're gonna have SadoCat. We're gonna have. Give me the whole title.
The slightly insane, spontaneously combusting, frothing mutant ninja black belt samurai rabbit walrus from hell. Say that walrus,
10 times.
Just saying rabbit walrus itself is kind of difficult.
It's true. The rural juror, I think, was the original title, right?
So now you're gonna have your books here. Now you also got some prints. We're gonna have some prints here as well.
This one I think I did this. This is one of my new ones. I did this in honor of if I can get the glare off. So if you look very closely, it's
if you're not a Disney lawyer, don't look
Thanos Mickey's Rise to Power. You'll see Muppets,
fantastic.
Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar.
I love the devil duck is Mephisto. I think that's fantastic. I think that's good. If you're a hardcore comic fan.
I love Donald, and then we got Jack Skellington. If you this one here, some of these kind of embody what our comics are about. Now this one, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, but if you look very closely, it's kind of funny because people do double takes, at the shows, and they look at it, and then they look at it again, and look very closely at the milk carton, and then they'll start cracking up. And I love how Kermit looks so content, like, why didn't I do this years ago? And this one I actually made in Anaheim at our first SoCal WonderCon, and as soon as I drew it, a guy bought it, and so I made prints of it, and it has a title.
Steamboat Killer.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So these prints will be available. I have a few other my Doctor Who and some other ones that I've done that are kind of cool and for fun. That I mostly I do them to bring fans to the table at the shows, and once they get a kick out of those, and they come look at the book. And a lot of the shows have become more of a print show than a comic book show.
That is true.
Once you can get them to come over and check out the prints, and they'll be more comfortable checking out the book.
Have the giant print, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we also do comics. Welcome to Comic Con." That's kind of a novel concept these days. Fantastic. So you'll have your prints, you'll have your books. We'll be down here hanging out. Like we said, food trucks, wrestlers, comics, free comics. Your comics aren't free, but you can still support a local creator. You can get some free comics. Make sure we clarify that.
Matt's comics are all free, right?
If he doesn't see you grab it, it's free. No,
I think we did. I think we probably did at least a few comics over the years that way.
It's funny because the first time I brought my son here for Free Comic Book Day, he thought that every book in the store was free. So I found him over by Spider-Man, just clearing the shelves of the. And I'm all, no man,
those ones
are not the free ones. So I did catch him in time.
It says free comic Book Day, Dad. I'm grabbing some free comics.
Hey, bring your kids into Shoplift here at Free Comic Book Day.
So we'll be down here with local creators, food truck wrestling, the whole everything. It's going to be awesome. Get down here, meet Matt and Corey from Plotless Comics, check out their stuff, check out Sato Cat, check out Rabbit Walrus. I'm not going to do the whole, maybe I will. I don't know at some point. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
We will see you Saturday, Free Comic Book Day.
Thank you.
And we are back again down here at Empire's Comics Vault. We are chatting with local creators who are going to be at Free Comic Book Day. So if you weren't aware, for Saturday in May, 20,000 free comics to be given away. That's right, 20,000. And
Each.
Ben, 20,000 each. And Ben, down here at Empire's Comics, he doesn't play around. He's not just like, oh yeah, here's the books. He's like, oh, here's the books. Here's a food truck. The food truck's not free. Here's professional wrestling. That is free. And here's a bunch of local creators who... shaking their hand is free, maybe. I don't know. Do you guys charge for it?
No.
But
Free.
buying their wares, that is not free. But you can come check out all kinds of local creators like Ghost Thunder Collective. I am joined by David and Christopher, the guys from Ghost Thunder. So, gentlemen, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
So, what is Ghost Thunder Collective?
Well, it's the two of us plus one other member who's not here, Hannah, and we are just a group of creators who like to do stuff together.
And you are Sacramento based?
We are Sacramento based.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm a writer. Christopher and Hannah are artists and illustrators. We do books together. We do T-shirts and prints and whatever else in the heck we want to do.
Nice. So how long have you guys been? How long has Ghost Thunder existed?
I think we're coming up on 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So coming up on our 4th year. We have 2 anthologies. We have 3 self-published comics. We have an art book. We have a prose novella. We have 3
Zines.
wrestling prints. We have zines.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
It's got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So now, so you said you're a writer.
Yes.
You're an artist, and so you
Correct.
guys collaborate on a lot of your the stuff in the anthologies.
Yeah. So in our 2 anthologies here, Christopher and I do a story together. Hannah and I do a story together, and then some other artists that most of them are local. I have one artist that lives in Canada, but most of them are local. We do stories together.
It's like
and-
I can see the cover because that's Ramon Villalobos, right?
yes.
Ramon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's our buddy
Ramon.
Ramon.
This
Yeah.
is Felicia Ann. She's
Nice.
another friend of ours. So we've been lucky, fortunate enough to make a lot of friends over the past few years running the con circuit. And so we've kind of developed these friendships, and we can ask for nice things.
You get some cool favors.
Special deals,
Yeah.
cool favors.
That's awesome. So now, so who was it? All 3 of you that came together and created Ghost Thunder? Was it someone's idea to kind of come together and do this?
Me and Chris had met when Chris worked at another comic book shop, Big Brother, which is also a good shop.
Yeah.
And we started volunteering I had volunteered with Skybound, does The Walking Dead at some of the big shows. And I kind of wrangled Chris into coming and getting in a whole bunch of free labor.
Nice.
Paid with food and free comics.
And sorebacks.
Yeah, sorebacks. And then he knew I was a writer, and I knew he was an illustrator, and I think he said, hey, why don't we do some stuff together?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we were always at the conventions, and our favorite thing at those big conventions is the Artist Alley at any
Right.
big convention. So we'd always walk around and say, why aren't
Why
we
are we
doing
there?
this?
Yeah.
Why aren't we there? So
Yeah.
that was kind of it. And
Nice.
he's got enough ideas to fill so many more books. We just don't have enough time to illustrate
Yeah.
them all.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So what inspires? Where do you? Because I mean, like, people write superhero stories. People write love stories. People, everything in between. So what inspires you when it comes to your creative process?
Me, like anything. Like it could be a lyric from a song. It can be just a random thought. It can be my first book was inspired by my divorce. Whatever I want to pull some, either my own self-therapy out of, or whatever cool idea, or typically I start with like a concept or a theme, and then figure out how I can work, a story into that theme. But yeah, it just basically comes from, I can't stop them.
Yeah, wherever it's
Wherever
flying
they're
out of.
flying out of, they just keep hitting me in the head. Yeah.
And now, you're an artist? Are you also a writer? No, just
Well, yeah,
Just the pen.
just the pencil. I mean, and pen. they just don't come out as fully formed as I would like. So it works out. It's such a great relationship to have
good.
when somebody can tell me what to draw.
Well, yeah,
two
and
halves.
it's good with Chris because I'm like, what do you want to do? And he's
Right.
like, I like this, this, and this. I'm like, cool, I can have a story for that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
no
fantastic.
problem. Yeah.
Nice. So now, when it comes to actual physical, because you guys have a lot of books, they look great. They're they're obviously well printed. Now, how do you go through your printing process? Is it someone local? Is it online? How do you do it?
Yeah, most of the time we've been using RA,
Okay.
which is out in Elk Grove.
Nice.
So they're fantastic. They're super quick for their turnaround, and their
Yeah,
prices
so
are reasonable as long as you're getting enough quantity.
Of course, yeah.
And since I work close, then we don't have to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
So
There you
just
go.
go-
That saves when you're when you're already
Shipping
losing money on
hundreds of
books,
bucks.
it's like it helps not to lose a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've been putting most of these anthologies together, just collecting all the pieces from all the different artists and assembling them. And
Yeah, Chris is not just an artist; he's also our production designer.
Nice. Okay, cool.
He also designs like the covers for most of my books. Like if you look at the art on the outside of my books, that's all Chris. If you look at the interior, like title page, that's him.
Okay.
I have no computer skills, so I say, Chris, here's some stuff.
yeah,
Put that together in
Make
a
it-
way
make it
that
a
looks
thing.
pretty,
Yeah.
and he always comes out with something
awesome.
that looks awesome. So
but yeah, thanks for noticing. We do take a lot of pride in our. I'm not just saying that. We do take a
No.
lot of pride in
Yeah.
our books. We really, rather than just throw
Yeah.
everything out there, we want to take our time with it. We want it to look like a
Yeah.
quality product.
If you
Not only
realized
look
how
like,
much
it is a quality.
how much Chris stressed over like formatting the
Right.
books.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
When we picked up a couple of them at Silicon Valley Comic Con, and when we went back to the hotel room, we were blown away. Like we were flipping through them, we we're like, wow,
Yeah,
these like
it
I've
looks
seen
like a real comic.
Exactly, like I've seen some local creators, and they do they work with what they've got, and
Yeah.
sometimes that can be tough. Like if you don't have the formatting skills.
I mean, if
the
I didn't,
printer,
if I didn't have Chris, it would look like a crazy man's manifesto. It would just be a bunch of stapled
Right.
Xerox copies together.
it would look like you were gonna
I would probably get
harm
like
people.
on an FBI like watch list if I tried to sell
Right.
it without him there to put it together
And
for
now,
me.
you guys mentioned you have shirts, you're not gonna have them there, but you're also gonna have a
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that? So same.
So
same
Hannah,
outfit?
Hannah our third member tends to go to the crafty and cute.
Okay.
So she loves these bags.
Oh,
and
how could you? That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's a cat because cats are
there.
cute.
Yeah.
And it's saying Nyaung, which
love
is
that.
meow in Korean because Hannah's Korean.
Love that even more.
Yeah, so that we just kind of whatever thing we want to do, we just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like-
you're not limited. You guys aren't like just a comic book outfit. You are.
No.
You are stories, your books, your bags, your shirts, your
Yeah.
prints.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think the collective is making more and more sense now.
Yes.
It's not just publishing. It's not just this. It's
Yes.
an outfit.
No, if Chris, me and Chris had an idea for a T-shirt, we're like, let's make a T-shirt, and we made it.
We made it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's a good one. That's a really good one to have.
He's wearing our product.
We're in
Yeah.
our product.
Placement.
Yeah.
So now, how have you guys been at Free Comic Book Day before?
We did last year was our first one.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have you been patrons of Empires very long?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
So yes, were you here then? You were there at the previous location, the one that did.
Yeah, though I was, I had been into that. I just moved to Sacramento, I think, when that one had the incident.
Which is not an insurance scheme, no matter what anyone likes it. I mean, it wasn't a Ben's insurance scheme.
Yeah.
It might have been the people next door.
No, yeah, I remember walking into the store
Yeah.
and it was and Ben was like trying to organize books and it was very smoky and I'm like, yeah, you can't stay
Yeah,
here.
no, that day was crazy. I remember he had a literal fire sale because
Yeah.
everything was like anything that smells like smoke, 50% off. I'm moving out of here. And then he came over here, and it's just been nothing but up since then. Like we have these
Yeah.
free comic book days.
Yeah.
We have all these great gatherings. So you guys are going to be down here on Saturday. There's going to be Ghost Thunder Collective. They're going to have all their stuff. You have to their stories. I've read them. They're so much more than just comic books. They're really cool. They take you down some emotional journeys that I wasn't even ready for, by the way. In the hotel room in Silicon Valley, I'm
Sorry
like,
about
oh, I pop it up and I'm like,
Sorry about
I'm gonna
that.
sit down. It was great. You don't have to apologize. I just wasn't ready. I'm like, oh yeah, con. Oh wow. And it was a lot of fun. So they're gonna be down here. No, all three of you gonna be here.
Yeah, we'll be here one at a time.
Nice. Oh,
So we can
working in
Yes,
shifts.
that's a good thing about being a collective is that we split
You're
the
not stuck behind the
yeah
table.
we split the work three ways,
That
so
is
it
definitely
makes
good.
shows a lot easier to have some help.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to wrangle friends into watching the booth for you while you pee.
Yeah, you're just gonna bottle. That's
Yeah.
weird. So you guys are gonna be down here. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have professional wrestling, which I'm sure you're excited for.
Definitely.
Are you a fan of SPW? Have you seen
Oh
their
yeah,
stuff
definitely.
before?
We went
Yeah.
to the last show couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, the anniversary show. It was great.
I'm so bummed I missed that one.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it was a
Free
good
Comic
show.
Day is always fun because they come out and they put it all on the line. They don't do anything on the parking lot though, so we don't have to worry about any injuries. Everything is hopefully gonna stay in the ring. We're gonna have food trucks. Like I said, all these local creators, and like I said, 20,000 free comics. Why would you not want to come down here? You get to meet cool creators, get free comics. So Ghost Thunder Collective, Christopher, David, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
hanging
much.
out. And definitely get down here next Saturday, Free Comic Book Day, Empire's Comics Vault. Be there.
Do it.
And we are back once again down here at Empire's Comics Vault, the Capeless Crusaders. We are talking to some local creators because, as we know, Ben does not play around on Free Comic Book Day. It is not just free comics. He's got food trucks. He's got wrestlers. He has tons and tons of local creators, local artists. And I'm joined by Julie Okahara. Now, Julie, I've seen your stuff up on the walls. You've been at Free Comic Book Day. You've been at Creative Women Minicon. So welcome. First off, thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank
So
you.
now, how long have you been involved with Empires? Like, how long have you been coming down here and showing off your stuff?
Ooh. I think
I feel like I've seen you the last at least like 2 or 3.
yeah, the free comic book day. It's gonna be the third time
Okay.
for me, and I did the women creative women
yeah.
con one time, and then I've been featured artist for 3 times
Yeah.
I think. So it's been 3-4 years.
You
yeah.
are ingrained in this here
Yes.
because your art is some of the coolest, most unique stuff that we've ever seen
Oh,
featured
thank
down here.
you.
So go and show off right off the bat. This is a really good example of your style. So the glare is not being nice to us today, but the best part is you can come down here for Free Comic Book Day and you can see it. So we were talking before, the best way we can describe it is mixed media because as you can see, we've got, is that oil painting, acrylic?
Acrylic paintings.
Acrylic
yeah.
painting, and we also have fabric with kind of stuffed and sewn to add this 3-dimensional cushion of hair to these characters. It's the coolest. I've never seen anything like it before.
you.
Every time I come down, I've seen like the mermaid with the hair and everything. Like, so right off the bat, what inspired you to add the extra effect with the fabric? Like, what made you want to do it?
So when I was attending to college, I was taking a bunch of sculpture classes
Okay.
because I wanted to be a sculptor. I wanted to work on 3-dimensional things. But after I graduated, I didn't have a space to do all the big
Right.
plaster project
Yeah.
or clay or whatever. So I picked up canvas, started painting, and I had some fabric laying around because of the classes I took.
Right.
And I was like, oh, what if I try to put leftover fabric
Just experimenting.
yeah,
That's so cool.
And then I really like the effect that it gave me, and then from there I just start playing with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this style for?
10, 11 years.
Wow.
Probably.
Cool.
Yeah.
So besides Empires, are you displaying it anywhere else, or any other local spots that you
Yes.
put it up?
Actually, I have always little spot at the coffee shop. Son of a Bean. It's
Oh, okay.
on the other side of freeway from
Yeah.
here, but in Sacramento.
Yeah.
It's not on the grid, but
Right. Yeah.
sorry,
Not,
I don't know.
it's all you go 15 minutes and all of a sudden you're like, wait, are we still in Sacramento? I don't know anymore. So it is not on the grid though, but that's good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's cool. We could see those things there. So I see you also got a Kickstarter going on here. So tell me a little bit about that. What do we got going on?
So I'm running a Kickstarter campaign for my first animal pin series.
Ooh.
So yeah, I picked my favorite forest animals.
Right.
So bunny bunny and then foxes are gonna be in pin. I just launched, but it's been doing pretty good. And then we unlocked the first stretch goal.
Nice.
So another
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Another pin is this squirrel girl is gonna be a pin as well.
That's so cool. So these are the enamel pins, which are just
it's
crazy popular right now. Like everyone is all about them. I mean, I thought I didn't. I was like, nah, it's just a pin, and now my backpack has like 5 of them.
Oh,
Like, it just
nice.
keeps happening. I love this one. I definitely. How much longer do you have on your Kickstarter?
I just launched, so it's gonna be up for 30 days. I think I'm 4 days in.
Wow.
So it's
And you already reached a stretch goal.
Yeah.
Wow. Not bad at all.
And then so it'll be ending May 24th, I
Nice.
believe. Yes.
Very nice. Well, congratulations on that. I'm definitely going to check it out now because
thank
that's
you.
that. I love that one. I really wish that one would just that's bright lights and everything.
But check out Kickstarter.com and search under Forest Friends enamel
Forest
pins.
Friends and Pins.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now, what are you going to have down here at Free Comic Book Day with you? What are you planning on bringing?
I will have paintings, original watercolor sketches, framed pieces, and I also have prints, and I make little buttons at home, so I'll have buttons, and then I'll have sticker sheet. I just
Nice. Ooh, a sticker sheet.
Yeah,
That's
I just made some sticker sheets and then little die cut stickers, so
Nice.
it's little fun.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that when especially when it's prints are cool, but to have the variety, if you're like, I don't have, because my local art wall is kind of ridiculous right now. Like it's kind of flooded with everything. Like, every time there's a Free Comic Book Day or Creative Women Minicon, I'm running out. Like I try to get just something every time, and I'm running out of space. So having something like that, like pins,
small stuff,
prints,
yeah.
the stickers, like that, definitely, I'll be all about that. So where can we see? Do you have a website where everything lives?
Well, my website julieokahara.com is a little bit under construction.
Okay.
I'm working on it to add more content, but you can always find me on Twitter, Instagram under Julie Okahara.
Nice.
And I do Twitch. I started doing
Yes.
Actually,
We're on Twitch, just like Julie is on Twitch. I love that artists are on Twitch now because I think that before, like I know they're the video game guys and gals who are they're like territorial about it. They're like, no, Twitch is for video games. But once they added like the creative section, the IRL section, like I've been able to go on there and I've been able to watch creators doing their whole process, and it's so cool to see the range of creators that are out there. So now, what is your username on Twitch? How can we track you down?
Julie22. So JULIEEE, 3 E's with
Got it.
22.
22.
Yeah.
And so how often are you on there?
I go on every Tuesday and Thursday, and then I normally do the thing called the doodle time.
Okay.
I ask the viewers to submit their ideas. Like I ask what's your favorite food, favorite characters, favorite things to do, stuff like that. And then I gather all the ideas in one bucket, and then I take a couple of ideas on the stream. Yeah, and then I make a little drawing based on what I draw from the card, and then it's been super fun.
Yeah.
And then
the interaction could just be a lot of fun.
so I'll have those original drawings of I did on the Twitch at the table as well on the Free Comic Book
Are you
days.
going to show your process on any of these on there? You think you're just going to do the doodle
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
It depends because this is a little bit too big for my setup.
Okay.
So I normally share my tables, a little area of my tables. So like 5x7 size is the perfect one,
right.
and 8x10 is little pushing, and this is just a little too big.
We know the size constraints of trying to do something on Twitch. It could be tough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's been super fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, awesome. So you're going to be down here. You're going to be showing off. You have to check out. I want you guys, even if you don't get like this is fabric that adds this 3-dimensional effect. That's the hair of the character. That you can't. No one's doing that. I think it's fantastic. So you need to get down here.
Thank
You can see it down here. Free Comic Book Day. Julie's going to be down here along with all the other creators we've talked to today. So you can check out Julie. She's going to have cards. It's going to have her Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all that. You can meet her. You can check out her artwork. You can help out her Kickstarter for those pins.
Yeah,
that
and
squirrel.
I have this
I'm down with the squirrel one. That's so cool. So Free Comic Book Day. Like I said, he's got 20,000 comics to give away. 20,000 comics, along with all these local creators, artists, comic book creators. We're gonna have prints, we have all kinds of stuff. We're gonna have wrestling. in the parking lot. We're going to have dudes throwing other dudes, slapping themselves across the chest. It's going to be tons of fun. And there's going to be food trucks. You can't...
Boba tea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, Wandering Boba is so great. I'm so excited that they're the ones that he's going to have down here. So yeah, so Julie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you
Thanks
for
chatting
having
with
me.
us. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so come down and see Julie and everyone else. Free Comic Book Day this Saturday. Be there. All right, and we are here once again at Empire's Comics Vault talking about Free Comic Book Day. Now, again, if you've never been down here for a Free Comic Book Day, it is not just 20,000 comics being given away, which is already a ridiculous thing. It is food trucks. It is professional wrestling. It is local creators throwing their books in your face, like this guy right here. I'm joined by none other
I'm not throwing my book at
than
anybody.
the founder, owner, CEO, CFO, COO,
Do I have BL?
the BO of Taurus Comics, Kyrun Silva.
Hey,
Kyrun,
how you doing?
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. You've been on the show before.
Many
So
times.
this isn't a new thing. But we're talking about Free Comic Book Day specifically.
Yes.
So how many Free Comic Book Days have you been to?
This is what, fourth?
4?
For some reason, Ben keeps inviting me back. I don't know why.
I mean, we didn't say he makes good decisions. We just said he puts on a good show. That's
I just think he ran out of people to invite, and I was the last one on the list. So he's like,
every year you're the last on
yeah.
the list. He's like, I guess I'll invite.
Yeah.
And I have another table to fill.
Yeah.
But we know why. You're here because you are a local creator and you have fantastic comics like Shaman's Destiny, like Saw, the Lightning Wielder. Yeah.
Congratulations on saying
Thanks.
that correctly.
Appreciate it. Well, I mean, I made sure the pronunciation because it's XOB. It doesn't, it's mythology. It's important to learn. That book is going to be here, right?
It is going to be here.
So Kyrun's going to be down here with his books. He's going to be chucking them at you. So how long have you been making books? How long have you been making comic books?
I started actually making the books in 2013.
Okay.
Officially started selling them in 2014. So this is year 4 for
You've
me.
been doing it for a while. And this is your career, yeah?
It is.
You do this for a living.
I do. It's not very successful at this point. It's a career.
You live. You live.
Yeah,
I
I live.
didn't say it's a good living. It's
Well, I'm not to the point where I'm eating top ramen every day.
Top Ramen's pretty good.
Sometimes I get cup of noodle.
Yeah.
And top ramen. So
Ooh.
I live it up. You know.
Anyway.
I can't raise the roof.
It can't go too high.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have your books here. So Saw the Lightning Wielder is your newest book.
Yes, it is.
So that is the first official foray of Taurus Comics, correct?
That is correct.
So you had a successful Kickstarter. I'd like to think that I was partially responsible for that Kickstarter.
You were wholeheartedly the only reason that I successfully got that Kickstarter.
I think it's because I tagged Greg Capullo.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, I like this guy. I'm going to push this forward. And,
Yeah.
then it happened.
Yeah.
So successful Kickstarter, book getting printed. So what made you start Taurus Comics?
I wanted to be my own creator. I wanted to not worry about what other people are doing within my group. With the other group I was with, Big Tree Comics, we were doing so many different things that making comics was being thrown on the back burner a lot of times. So
Yeah.
I wanted to take control of what's going on in my company.
Right. Well, because Big Trees, I mean, they're at events, they're doing sketches and caricatures. Like they're like the super group of creators.
Exactly.
But you wanted to focus just on the comics that you were creating.
Yeah, I wanted it just to be comics, nothing else.
Yeah, which is totally. I mean, it is a noble quest to get your books and get them out there, especially when you got Saw. So tell me about Saw the Lightning Wielder.
Well, Saw the Lightning Wielder stars a young woman who's in college. She's trying to support her mom, who's a widow, and the rest of her family. And at the same time, she's a superhero. She has a power, a deity called Saw, which is based off of Hmong mythology. She has super strength, ability to fly, and she can also manipulate lightning where she can throw it, she can hurl it at people, she can form it into weapons like her magical axe. She can make shields. She can do lots of things with lightning. And along the way, she has to defeat the evil lord Eclipse, who is the ruler of the Dark Realm, who's escaped into our realm and trying to take over our world.
Which I think it's fantastic because this is a mythology that I have never heard of. I've never, like what you've seen, like a lot of people kind of keep repeating the same mythology. We keep getting Roman, Greek, Norse, Celtic.
There's nothing wrong with those.
They're super entertaining, and it's not that they've been overdone. Like I can still be entertained by one, but it's refreshing to learn about a culture and a mythology that I have never, it's never been really put out into the forefront and said, hey, here's a story that is dripping in this mythology. It's heavily based in it, which I think is really fantastic. So now Saw's coming out. It's going to be an ongoing. Now Shaman's Destiny, you've already got out.
Yes.
Shaman's Destiny is your book that I believe just wrapped, right?
Yeah, issue 6 just finished up last year. It's now compiled into this nice trade, which you can get the entire series all colored, a letter drawn by me. Issues 1 through 6.
And where can we get that?
We can get it here at Empire's Comics.
Yeah.
You can also get it at touristcomics.com.
What up?
If you see me on the street, I might have a couple in my back pocket.
Like, Okahara, can I buy your comic book? Yeah,
you
sure.
You never know. I might have it with me all the time.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You're always just ready to, at a moment's notice, be like, yes, Stanley, do you like my idea?
Wow. Yeah. Does Stanley like my idea?
I have no idea. Last time I talked to him, he was telling people about his favorite color. That was really awesome. And that was, I don't know, that's
a poor guy.
That has been crazy. The stuff that has been happening is it's so bizarre, and you don't know what to believe, and it's
there's so many stories coming out.
Yeah. Well, we should talk about you because you're on the interview.
Okay. I mean, we can talk about either one. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just. All right.
Let me know. Come back to me. Sure.
We're gonna stop talking about it. And we're gonna talk about that. So Shaman's Destiny. You got it out in trade. You got it colored. You got the individual issues. Saw the Lightning Wielder. It's gonna be out. So now, you're gonna be down here? You're gonna be having your books. You're gonna be doing sketching. You're just gonna be hanging out. What are the plans?
I'm gonna have Saw and I'm gonna have Shaman's Destiny. I'm going to have free posters.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna give out 200 free posters. Anybody comes to my booth. I'm going to have prints of Christy Cha, who is a local model, who's also the cosplay model for Saw the Lightning Wielder.
Saw those little dope.
Yep. I'm going to be doing sketches if somebody wants to do that. And I think that's all I have going on. I might have something else, but I don't know.
Ooh, it's going to be awesome.
Secrets.
Secrets make no friends. Wait, is that the line?
No, I don't think so.
Whatever. Well, I mean, in this case, secrets are good because we don't want to blow. We want to come down here. We want to be excited.
Yeah.
Now the question is, you as a combat athlete.
I like how you phrase it.
I think combat athlete is the best phrase ever, and I think it really encompasses guys who actually do combat and guys who do scripted combat. So now you were trained by none other than Big Ugly.
Yeah.
Big Ugly of SPW.
Yes.
Are you going to throw your hat in the ring?
No. Hell to the no. Those wrestling days are over.
That answers that question. I was going to be talking about this big comeback and this run into the Rumble by Kyrun, but apparently
no. Sorry, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not.
Well, I'm disappointed.
I know. It's not your first time you've been disappointed by me.
Yeah, especially. Okay. But it's okay because I am going to see your comic book.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not actually going to be here, but I'm going to see it eventually.
Why won't you be here?
I'm going to be at a bachelor party.
So what's more important, a bachelor party or this? It's free comic day.
Believe me, if you're watching, Vance, I'm not happy that you put it on this weekend. But we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Tim, you're lucky I love you.
Yeah.
Tim's the bachelor.
Tim Advance?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on you.
Yeah.
You want to give out their addresses so we can...
Let's do this. Let's dox them.
All right.
Let's get... Maybe while they're playing video games, we'll swat them. That'll be terrible. Don't do that, kids.
No, don't ever swat somebody on online gaming.
This interview has gone off the rails.
That usually happens with me in interviews.
It's the last one. It needed to get weird.
That's what happens when you get me here for 3 hours with no food.
I'm feeling you. I'm hungry.
All right. We should have pizza after this.
Let's do it. So you're going to be down here. You're going to Taurus Comics, Kyrun Silva. It's going to be down here for Free Comic Book Day. Like I said earlier, and like I've said so many times today, 20,000 free comic books.
20,000?
20,000 free comic books. Ben is going to be here. There's going to be sales. There's going to be local creators. There's going to be food trucks.
Wrestling.
Professional wrestling that Kyrun will not be participating in.
Roller derby.
Roller derby.
Forgot all about the roller derby.
I haven't mentioned them all day. The Sac City Rollers are going to be here. Yes. West Coast Avengers are going to be here. You can take some pictures of some superheroes. You can hang out with Ben. He's a kind of a cool guy.
He's got cool dogs.
No, not that cool. Not that cool.
Oh.
His hot
You're
sauce.
not gonna be here for Comic Day. What was that, Ben?
He's gonna have his hot sauce. He's gonna be running around like crazy because Ben is like he's
a
just
madman.
maniac on Free Comic Book Day because he puts it all together and it's awesome. So Kyrun, thank you for coming on. Thanks for hanging out. So be sure to check out all of the creators that we've talked to today. Check out the other videos to see the other interviews we've had. Get down here. It's going to be fantastic. We will see you Saturday. Free Comic Book Day. Empire's Comics Vault. Be there.
Or be square.